retro reactions.
What is up, everyone? I am Chris Knight, and you are watching The Real Review 3000, here with another retro reaction. And what is that retro reaction to? I'll give you a hint. You're traveling through another dimension, a dimension not only of sight and sound, but of mind. A journey into wondrous lands whose boundaries are that of imagination. There's a signpost up ahead. Your next stop, the Twilight Zone. That's right, the Twilight Zone. This is a retro reaction to that movie. It was released in 1983, I believe. It consisted of 6 parts. The prologue, Something Scary. Time Out, Kick the Can, It's a Good Life, Nightmare at 20,000 Feet, and Epilogue, Even Scarier. It had a large cast, a lot of different people in each of those parts, or each of those sections of the movie. John Lithgow, Donna Dixon, Scatman Crothers, Vic Morrow, Dan Aykroyd, Albert Brooks, lots of people. But this movie is probably most notoriously known for something that happened on the set during the Time Out shooting. I believe Steven Spielberg and John Landis both were doing parts of this, and it just became a big problem, actually, because during the filming of Time Out, director John Landis, on July 23rd, 1982, around 2:30 a.m., actor Vic Morrow and child actors Misa Den Lee, age 7, and Rini Shinyi Chin, I'm sorry, that's horrible, age 6, died in an accident involving a helicopter being used on the set. The 2 child actors were hired in violation of California law while which prohibits child actors from working at night or in proximity to explosions, and requires the presence of a teacher or social worker. During the subsequent trial, the illegality of the children's hiring was admitted by the defense, with John Landis admitting culpability for that, but not the accident, and admitting that their hiring was wrong. Vic Morrow died in the accident, and the 2 children died in the accident, and so that part was scrubbed from the segment, but the whole segment was not scrubbed. So it was a very notorious thing that happened, and actually this movie probably got more press because of that than it did actually because of the movie. A lot of people didn't like the movie. It is a lot of repeats of stuff that was in the series, but the movie overall wasn't too bad, if you ask me. I liked parts of it. The Kick the Can is kind of a slow one, but it's understandable what the way that it's brought up. So let's go over to our reaction screen here. And we will go ahead and hit play. This is actually the alternative trailer
John Landis
to
American Werewolf in London.
the original one, but
E.T. Joe Dante, The Howling.
Yeah, these guys are all the directors of each individual
George
segment.
Mad Max.
It had great
These acclaimed
stuff.
directors take you to another dimension. A journey into a wondrous land whose only boundaries are your imagination. Next stop, the Twilight Zone.
I was a big fan of this show. A real big fan. The show, the movie, everything about it was really interesting. They rehashed the show several different times. I think I've heard of either the show coming back here, or it has come back recently, or they're possibly maybe doing a new movie. I don't know. I've heard a lot of different things. But this was always a series that did a very good job of exploring what ifs, or what if a person who was horrible to everybody else was slapped in some of the same situations, but on the opposite end. So if he was, if he made fun of Jews or African Americans or whatever, maybe it would flip him on the other side. He'd be Jewish or he would be African American. He would learn from the fact that what happened to him as the other person. He would learn, and that was always the thing. It was what if beauty was not really beauty? What if it was ugly was beauty? There was an episode on that. The Terror at 20,000 Feet, that was an actual segment in the show with William Shatner, and they just repeated it for the movie with John Landis. There was a lot of cool things about the thought. I mean, if you're terrified of flying anyways, you might see things that aren't really there, and everybody's going to think you're crazy. It was always these things, these questions of reality, questions of morality, all these things. And the Twilight Zone always made me think. So if you liked this retro reactions, please put your comments down below. If you didn't, put your comments down below. I'm always open to hear that. As you can see, this is our subscriber count here. You know, if you go to my Twitter at chrisknight5150, you can like and retweet my pinned post and have a chance to win these 3 books if you help me get this number to 1,000 by April 12th, 2020. All the information is in that pinned tweet. There's a quick little video about it, and you have to send people here to help us do that. But please, if you haven't subscribed already, hit the subscribe button, and if you know some people that might like to subscribe, please send them over here, have them look at our videos and everything. Don't forget to smash that like button, hit the bell so you know when we come out with new stuff, and as always, I'm Chris Knight. This is The Real Review 3000, and I'm officially out of here.
Hey guys, thanks for checking us out. Be sure to subscribe to both channels, and make sure to check out our friends in the Fandom Minutes. You can find us on YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and BitChute, and you can also send us an email at sean@seanstackhousereacts.com and chrisknight@therealreview3000.com. And be sure to swing by our Teespring store to pick up some awesome merchandise.